All right, welcome to the first Rock Your Business concert for After Hours Youngstown with the Vindys, sponsored by Tima Roofing. The Vindys are going to talk about their new album, upcoming shows, and play a few songs. Take it away, guys.
All right. I never been lucky, always play it safe, but life doesn't pay when you're in the slow lane. The blame game's over, did you bet on me? Yeah, I built this cage, but I found the key. Something's about to break, yeah, I think it's me. Man, I gotta shake this weight off of me. I'm gonna yell if I want, gonna scream if I want, gonna sing how I want, gonna dance how I want, gonna yell if I want, gonna scream if I want, gonna sing how I want, gonna dance if I want to. Well, I've been told not to walk that way. Don't raise your voice or make any waves. You can roll your eyes like I'm a drama queen. Don't wanna tone it down, I wanna cause a scene. Yeah. Something's about to break, yeah, I think it's me. Man, I gotta shake this weight off of me. I'm gonna yell if I want, gonna scream if I want, gonna sing how I want, gonna dance how I want, gonna yell if I want, gonna scream if I want, gonna sing how I want, gonna dance if I want to. Ain't gonna sit down no more, ain't gonna shut up like you want. You might think I'm too much, living off the cuff. Well, just maybe I'm not enough. Sing how I want, gonna dance how I want, gonna yell if I want, gonna scream if I want, gonna sing how I want, gonna dance if I want to. I just wanna feel alive. Whoa, I just wanna feel alive.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, that was obviously the first single from the Vindys' upcoming album. Sounds great. Could you talk a little bit about this new album, what it's called, when it's going to be released, and what sort of direction you're taking on it?
Yeah, that I finally know. We recorded this album called Bugs that's coming out in early 2020, and we had been struggling with trying to get it out during COVID. What do we do if we can't support it being on the road? So finally this year it seemed like the skies opened up for us, and we decided to finally place a date on it. So we're going to be releasing it July 31st.
Nice.
Yeah.
By the way, we're at Youngstown Studio in downtown Youngstown with the Vindys.
And it's beautiful, by the way.
It is super cool in here.
I love it.
The Vindys are here. They sound great as always. It's kind of a treat to see them playing acoustically, but with the same level of expertise.
This is how it all started.
Yeah.
Just like this.
This show is Rock Your Business, sponsored by Tima Roofing. Another big event coming up is the amphitheater show, July 31st. Talk about what it's like to perform at the amp before a hometown crowd, a huge hometown crowd. And
so we're really excited about this show, not only playing the amphitheater again, because we played it last August, which was a thrill, because to be on that such a huge stage and to be just in front of people again was an honor. It was amazing. But to be playing it again and for the album to be coming out and the hype around it, I'm so excited to be back on that stage, because I think we're going to just feel more at home with all of our friends and family around. The show itself, I mean, everyone's so pro. 42 Productions. I mean, everyone has come together and supported our band, the Vindys, for such a long time, and we always want to, support our community businesses.
Will this be the first show since the pandemic restrictions were lifted for you guys, or you've played others?
We played Pittsburgh a few weeks ago, and then we also played in Jackson Township as well. And those were, there was at least 2,000 to 3,000 people at both of those
Really?
nights. Yeah.
Where did you play in Pittsburgh?
We played at the South Park Amphitheater. It's part of their concert series, kind of similar to what Mill Creek does, but on a much larger level. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. By the way, we have Jackie Popovec, of course, singing, and that is guitarist John Anthony, and to Jackie's right is guitarist Rick Deek of the Vindys. Let's talk about some other shows you have coming up. And I know that there's a big show coming up before the AMP show at the Wonderstruck Festival in Cleveland. You've played that festival before.
We have. Wonderstruck is the new name for the music festival that takes place every year in Cleveland. Before it was called Laurel Live. And they have some really big national acts that have come through last year. Hozier, Sheryl Crow. This year it's going to be Portugal the Man, AJR, Third Eye Blind. We're just happy to be a part of it. The energy that surrounds a music festival is a whole nother level. It's a really fun gig, especially when it feels like you have your day of show, like experiences with the other bands that, you're in the same green room areas, you're having, conversations with bands in and out that you normally wouldn't. So maybe we'll get to talk this year with Third Eye Blind or this or that, but it's a really cool vibe a music festival is.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that even from a band's point of view, it's just a special event.
To have that many people, especially after COVID, that's going to be another great thing.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be at least 10,000 there. Are you guys on one of the big stages there? Or?
No, we're headlining the third stage.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be 7 o'clock on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and again, that is like a perfect festival because it's big time, but it's also Northeast Ohio-ish. So you'll fit right in.
Yeah. No, we're really excited to play that one. We played it last year and the crowd was just insane. So it was a great vibe.
Earlier this year, you guys released a live album, and I think we might not be hearing any songs from that one, but are you guys ready to play another song from the new album?
Yeah. Let's do, Want Your Heart from the new album called Bugs, out July 31st. I got a feeling deep in my bones, you know the feeling. When we're alone, these walls can come down. If you want them to, I want you to break on through. You're just my type. Would it be odd just to say, I want your heart, I want your heart. There ain't no reason, but I got a good feeling. Yeah, 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 hey. There ain't no logic behind this mess. Don't wanna question the good in this. If I could paint you a picture of what it feels when we're together, yeah, 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 it's a good feeling. This feels so right. Would it be I just say, I want your heart, I want your heart. There ain't no reason, but I got a good feeling. Yeah, 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 yeah. Something tells me that you feel the same. I can tell when you look in my way. Yeah, I'm fixing to make the first move. 'Cause when it's good, yeah, it's so good. This feels so right. Would it be odd just to say, I want your heart, I want your heart. There ain't no reason, but I got a good feeling. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want your heart, I want your heart. There ain't no reason, but I got a good feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I'm snapping incredibly.
That's all
right.
I mean, I
You
never.
don't know how to snap.
I know. Today I do.
That's the percussion right there.
I snap in the morning. For inflammation. There you go.
All right, we're with the Vindys here at Youngstown Studio for Rock Your Business, sponsored by Tima Roofing. And that was a new song. Love it. Could we get a little glimpse into the songwriting process that went into this? Like, what's the format? How does it go?
Compared to the last album, where it was a lot of me writing the core structure of the song, and bringing it to the guys' music and lyrics, and then them arranging it for me. This time, I definitely, after the long history of the Vindys being together since 2014 now, I've come to trust these guys a little bit more with, giving them a little bits and pieces and saying, hey, can you do something with this? So Rick and I definitely have written a majority of the new songs on the album, and each time is honestly very different. Sometimes it starts with a melody. Usually it starts with a melody. I always like to look for the hook of a song first and then run with that. And that's primarily how most of the my writing goes. But sometimes it'll be a guitar riff, something that John brings to the table. John has a song on the album as well that I put lyrics on top of. And it's kind of my goal to not stay in a box ever, whether that be in a specific way of songwriting. I kind of want to push myself. So sometimes I will get out of my element and start writing a country song or a pop tune just to kind of like see where my legs are at. And it's very helpful, practice to sometimes play on the piano compared to the guitar. Because you get a more, blues vibe on a piano sometimes, and then a country style on a guitar. So it's always different depending on what instrument you're playing, or just even singing in the car to me is like my therapy. I just, I'll come up with a melody in my head and I have to race home to, record it or put it down, lyrics or whatever. I just make sure that I have my phone handy, or a notepad handy to always write stuff down.
Like you never know when it's going to hit you.
You never know. Yeah.
Well, well, that's interesting, especially the part about how it seems like you have to just get your mind off of what you normally do in order to get like a fresh approach to what you really want to do.
That's exactly
Just sort of
how
clears your mind.
I work. Other people might be different. And sometimes it's, for me, I find lyrics are the most struggling part of songwriting. But once you fight for it, you might sit there for 4-6 hours. If you fight for the lyric hard enough, something good will come out of it.
You're the chief lyricist.
Yes. Yeah. I write all the lyrics.
At some point when you're writing, and I know this myself, you just know when you're done. You know when
There's about
you've done
I
that.
would say a 5 to 6 hour window, and then you're mentally,
Yeah.
you're mentally exhausted. I mean, you almost feel like you just worked out and you've been sitting there just, just thinking very hard about things. And I can fight for a lyric. Sometimes I want to use something very particular and in a song, and just happened with the last song that I wrote and recently. And I've been fighting for 2 weeks on just trying to make this one line work, and it just never worked. So I had to eventually, you got to pitch it and you got to start from a different point of view or different approach, and then it starts clicking together. So you can't be afraid to ditch one idea because another idea could come. So whether you think that's save that for later, maybe use it somewhere else, but you got to invite other ideas in.
No matter how much you liked it at first, if it ain't working, it ain't working. It's got to go.
And it's not just songwriting. It's, all arts in general.
Yeah.
Like, if you're fighting for a riff, or in journalism, you're, writing, a paper or whatever, you want to do something. I get that there's a frustration to it, but also at the same time, you have to almost let it go for other things to look outside of the box and invite that creativity in.
Okay. Well, the other part of writing a song, or one other part of writing a song, is arranging it. And you briefly touched on that. You've got, these guys filling in their parts, and it's clicking pretty well. And by the way, it's very interesting to hear just the acoustic accompaniment here. You guys are pretty intricate there. I noticed.
Yeah,
that.
they know what they're doing.
But a big part of the Vindys, especially the live show, is the horn section. Talk about working that arrangement in. And I know it's kind of embellishment, or is it? Like how
it is.
How's it go?
No, that's a good way of putting it. When we first started having horns a couple years after we got together, I was the one that was writing predominantly the parts because I have some experience as a trumpet player now. But so I was writing it for them. And then we always had like a different crew of characters playing the different horn section, like horn parts. So we never had any like solidified group. And then probably like 3 years ago, we really we're able to find 3 guys that we really have relied heavy on. And especially with this record, they've now taken over the ownership of writing those things. And a lot of the times it's complementary to what's happening. They might just fill in some extra sound to make walls, for the music, or a lot of the times they might even come up with some cool and like solo lines and embellishments that you'll hear on a lot of this record too.
Well, I think it's a huge part of the band's sound. I think they mesh well with your.
And so I just kind of trust them to know what to take the direction that I give them and to find the style, whether that be on keys or guitar. So, and we know each other well enough now to know, what direction we want to take these songs into.
After all these years, it's kind of second nature, I guess.
Yeah, it really has become that.
Okay. All right. Hey, by the way, what was the name of that last song?
Want Your Heart.
Want Your Heart. Okay. All right. Well, I'm thinking maybe if we have time for one more song. Again, we're at Youngstown Studio, Rock Your Business, sponsored by Tima Roofing. If we have time for one more song, then maybe we can come back and talk about what's next. And
All right.
okay.
This one's called Judas.
Judas.
Last night Judas kissed me. It tasted like he missed me. I could tell it was a lie. One more strike to start the fight. If only I could wear the scars of all the beatings of my heart. But I won't tell if they can't see. I needed him, he needed me. Oh. Baby, I love to love you. How can I just share you? Push me up and down, keep swinging me around. Maybe I could stay here till there's nothing left here. Gonna to the ground, 'cause we're going down. As he whispered something sweetly, I could tell it was a lie. One more strike to start the fight. If only I could wear the scars of all the beatings of my heart. But I won't tell if they can't see. I needed him, he needed me. Oh. Well, baby, love to hate to love you. Why can't I just share you? Push me up and down, keep swinging me around. Maybe I could stay here till there's nothing left. Run us to the ground. We're going down. We're going swinging me around. Baby, I can stay here till there's nothing left here. Run us to the ground. We're going down. Oh, we're walking down. Oh, we're going down.
All right. Yeah, that song comes to a climax toward the
Yeah,
end.
I mean, that song is definitely a rockin' tune, so it's kind of weird to do with without drums. But this album is, really rockin', so we're excited to, rock out on stage.
And while you guys were just doing it, I was trying to envision what it's going to sound like, the finished product. It's going to be.
Definitely
It sounds huge.
interesting.
It's going to be huge. Yeah.
The rock band with the horns section with the vocals, definitely.
Yeah.
It's our own thing. I would definitely feel like we're in our own thing.
I would, definitely a distinctive sound that the Vindys have. All right, this is After Hours Youngstown, Rock Your Business. And I know that, with the new album, with some big shows coming up, that this is the time to stay focused in the moment and focus on what you've got to do with musically right now. But do you ever look into the future a little bit to see what the future might hold, maybe a year from today?
I mean, if there's one thing that I could tell you about this past year, it's I've we've all musicians, entertainment industry has been in such a dire state for the last year and a half. And when we first got back on stage after COVID, I know it's still happening, but during COVID restrictions being lifted, getting on stage again, I just felt like this unbelievable amount of gratitude to just be able to be on stage again, to be able to play just with my band, which, there's sometimes 6 to 9 piece band that we have, and we couldn't get together. Like, we were doing Zoom conversations for the longest time trying to get this album together. Thank God we were able to pull the album together in January of 2020. But I have this unbelievable amount of gratitude. So I never used to do this before, but now I am on stage and I'm doing the selfies with the crowd just to make sure that I remind myself all the time. I look back in my Instagram feeds and say, listen, you get to do this. This is a privilege. It's like an honor to be able to be in front of people again. So I think we all feel that way. And looking forward to, I think that, my writing process has become the most important thing to me. And I would like to see the Vindys not wait another 3 years to do an album, but maybe do it one next year. Okay. At this point, I have a lot to say. I'm fighting for, something that is going to solidify us as, a great band. So I'm looking forward to the future. I'm already having plans. I mean, this album's been done since early 2020 for us. So we're already looking forward to next year and hopefully getting another album out there. I'm saying it now here on your show, so I got to put it out in 2022. So yeah. All right. Well, now it's going to light a fire under my butt. So there we go. We got it.
All right. Well, we got that to look forward to.
Yes.
And yeah, it's good to hear from you saying how exciting it is, just for you to be back performing, because the excitement is in the audience all the time. So I'm glad that it's a mutual.
Felt like it was a dream, and now now you just can't take it for granted, Sure. So I appreciate just being in this room with all of you fine folk here. Fine folk. I've never said that before in my whole life.
That's grammatically
fine
correct.
People, fine folk, whatever. Here we go.
Okay. All right. Well, it was awesome to have you guys here. Again, this is the Vindys, After Hours Youngstown, Jackie Popovic.
Thanks, Guy.
Rick Deek. All right. Let you get back to work.
All right. We'll see you.
Okay.
Bye.